Hey, how's everybody doing today? This is Sean again. Hey, I wanted to take some time today, use my new whiteboard here, to talk to you guys about managing performance, okay? And so that can take on all kinds of contexts, right? Performance can be on a sports team, it can be in a company, be an existing company, whether you're building a company, right? Whatever that looks like. But before I do that, giving people a little bit of time to pop on here today, and I know that I'm doing this middle of the day just based on my availability, so may not be a lot of people that pop on the call right now, but hopefully people will see this in their feed and check it out later. So with that, hey Paul, how are you doing, man? Good to see you. So with that, my background, for those of you that know me, is in human resources management. That's where I've spent the entire part of my career. And so a lot of people, you go to a dinner party and they're like, oh, human resources, you hire and fire people. Well, no. I mean, yes, but we hopefully are doing a heck of a lot more than that. So a big piece of what I did and a big piece of human resources was and is around managing organizational performance. So I spent a disproportionate amount of my career in development having discussions with the organizational leaders as well as employees about performance, okay? So before I get into that, though, let me just say that it was my experience that people get really touchy when you talk about performance relative to their ability to earn a living, okay? Hey, Greg, how are you, man? Thank you for being on again. But people get really, really touchy about that. And I don't understand why that is. I've never understood I understand why it is, because people don't want you jacking with their ability to make money, right? Or earn a living. But when you think about performance outside of the work context, everybody seems to be okay with managing that work performance, right? So let's take quarterbacks in the NFL. Who's the dude down in Houston that, failed miserably? I'm forgetting his name, but you Houston Texan fans know who I'm talking about. He's the guy that transferred from Denver. I've put his name out of my memory because thank God I'm a Cowboys fan. We don't have to deal with that. But the point is my entire hometown of Houston was calling for that dude's head from like game 1 or game 2 in the season. They had very high hopes for him. His performance wasn't good. They were like, fire him. Right? So nobody has a problem with poor performance when it comes to their sports teams, right? Okay. How about weight loss, right? People start and fail at weight loss regimen all the time. And right, they don't really have an issue with it, right? They failed at their performance, but people don't make an issue with it. So here's where I'm going with this. Let's run with the weight loss thing. Okay. It's been my experience that people like, they like instant gratification. They like immediate success. So when you think about weight loss, how many people do you think have gone out and bought those vitamins or pills or whatever they see advertised that are supposedly supposed to help them lose tons of weight incredibly fast, right? How many of you have known that, person that's gone in that's clinically obese, that thought that they were going to take a pill and not put an ounce of effort into it and yet lose all this weight by taking this miracle tablet or pill or whatever, right? So type a 1 down in the comment section and be bold, right? If you are that person, type a 1 in there. If you've even known somebody that you think it falls into that category, type a 1, all right? So let's think about that. When we think about weight loss, what do we know that we need here? And you know what? I was going to try to write backwards. I'm not going to do that. When we think about weight loss, we know that for it to be effective, that there's got to be a certain amount of effort, right? Which would be working out, okay, exercising. It takes a proper diet, right? In order to do 1 and 2 correctly, then you need a certain level of, now, I don't know about expertise, but you need some education or you need some guidance and coaching, right? So am I doing the right workouts? Am I doing them at the right time? Am I getting the right amount of sleep? Am I eating properly? Okay, well, what does eating properly mean? Is it a fad diet? Or is it knowing your body well enough, knowing what your aspirations are, and in calculating the right path or the right plan to get you from here to here. All right, if you're a 300-pound dude and you're morbidly obese and you want to get back to what your weight should be at 185, friends, that's a different plan than somebody that's at 190 and wants to get shredded and get down to 180. All right, it's just different, right? So each person has a goal or an end state in mind. Each person has a different starting point. Each person's going to have a different plan. But I can tell you that if you don't execute on that plan, i.e. perform, you're going to fail, right? And so what you're going to see is a curve, right? That's my fat belly curve. Right? So there's definitely a performance curve. So that's my segue here, right? Is I want to talk about organizational performance. And organizational performance is really no different. You have a starting point, and every organization is different as to what that is. You have an end game, whatever that looks like, right? So if you're a corporation and you're trying to grow top line, well, you got your current sales and you got your forecasted or sales or your plan, right? Or your revenue plan. Well, how do you get from here to here? Okay. I've got to increase sales by X%. Or if you're looking at increasing your net, and I've done past posts on this, as we know, you need to control cost, quit eating, and improve performance, right? Work out. That's the same thing, right? There's margins in weight loss as well. Eat less, get rid of excess, make smarter choices in your diet, work out more, exude more effort, eat properly, and you're going to create that, a better, healthier you. So my point is performance is no different. However, it's very, very sensitive, once again, when you start talking about people's income. All right, so I'm not really going to dial into the income thing, but I'm going to say if you're that person that is, one, a leader, and you're trying to manage performance, then I've got some things that I want you to think about, all right? If you're, delivering the performance discussion, hopefully this will help with that. But more importantly, if you're the performer, then you need to be prepared to receive that message, and hopefully this will educate you so that you can control the one thing in this dynamic that you can control, and that's you. It's your actions, it's your attitude, it's your response, all right? So the beautiful thing about statistics is that curves happen on a naturally occurring phenomenon, okay? So a standard curve looks something like this, okay? And if we're talking about that, and for those of you that haven't had statistics, I'm going to keep it pretty simple. Basically, you've got 67, I got to do this backwards. You got 67%, did I do that right? Kind of. 67% falls within this and this, okay? Then you've got another curve here, or I'm sorry, the other extension here, where you've got another about 5%, sorry. All right, so you got another 5% out here and here. That looks ridiculous, doesn't it? I'm going to be a bit of a perfectionist here. All right, so 5% there, right? So now we're up to, we've got 67%, right? We're up to about 77%, right? You know what? Sorry, I did this wrong. That's right. So we got 67%, we're up to 87%, right? We're going to take this other and call it, roughly 5. This is my 5%. I got to tell you that concentrating on writing backwards is... All right. So then you've got, your 3% float that is kind of somewhere in the middle. All right. So this is our curve, right? So when we think about performance, you may or may not have heard of the 80-20 rule or the 90-10 rule, okay? And look, it just is what it is that not all performers are created equally. And I'm going to use a sports example again. When I think about the old Chicago Bulls from the 90s, right, the Michael Jordan days, was everybody on that team equal? Hell no, they weren't. Michael Jordan was head and antlers above everybody else, right? So when I think about Michael Jordan, he's absolutely going to be over here on that performance curve, right? I did the J backwards. Michael Jordan, okay? So I think we could all agree on that. Scottie Pippen, Scottie Pippen's probably here somewhere, right? Don't confuse that SP with Sean Parker. I cannot play basketball to save my life. And then there's kind of the rest of the team throughout the rest of the distribution. And again, if we're talking sports, right, nobody disagrees with that. Okay, but my experience as an HR guy is come into the year for performance discussions, you've got all the performers themselves think they're here. I've never had anybody come in here and go, you know what, I'm probably in this last quartile. I kind of suck. No, nobody says that, right? They know that their pay and their ability to make a living is directly linked to their performance. So they're going to come in and go, hell yeah, I'm that guy. Okay, now then you've got leaders, and I would say weak leaders, that they also know that that's tied to performance, and they don't want to have the difficult discussion. They haven't had it all year, right? Never talked to their employees, never gave them feedback, and the employees just thinking they're trucking along. Then they come in at the end of the year and go, you know what? Evil HR is making me put you over here because there's only so much money to reward here and here, right? No. All right. Now, granted, if you've got a department of 3 and they all hit here, okay, then maybe that's possible, right? But the odds of 3 out of 3 is much more probable than 300 out of 300. All right. You get more people in, and this curve starts to develop. Okay. So why am I saying all this? I'm saying all this because when you think about managing your business and you think about rewarding your people, then again, that 90-10 rule, about 10% of your performers are going to drive 90% of your performance. Okay? Let me say that again. And again, think my Michael Jordan example. 10% of your people are going to drive 90% of your performance. And if you want to be more lenient, whatever, call it 20% of your people are going to drive 80% of your performance, okay, if that's more palatable for you. And again, bigger numbers obviously smooth that out, okay? So why is that important? It is important because when you think about attracting talent and retaining talent, who do you want to spend your time, effort, and money going after and keeping? Is it these guys? I don't know, maybe you want to run, some kind of a socialist organization, and that's okay. But most people want to run a meritocracy. They want to run an organization where they give the rewards to the people that are earning money. Okay? So I'm not going to get all political with that, right? But you can easily slip into politics of organizations. But so the market that I'm in now, which is going to be people that want to do network marketing, the caveat here is that experience can certainly factor in. And just because you're not performing well doesn't necessarily mean you're a bad guy or you're a bad, person. What it means is that it could be, and let me back off of that for a minute. So again, 5% up here, these are your tippy top performers. You want to attract, and once you get them, you want to keep those people at all cost. Okay, don't let them go. They're the lifeblood of your organization. Next are these 10%ers. So let's call it the top 15%. These are people that are either real just solid performers, or they've got a hell of a lot of potential to kind of slide over this way. And again, they're going to slide back and forth, right? You're going to have some that are constantly or consistently. But what if you promote somebody and move them up into a new role? Hey, Renee, good to see you. Thanks for joining. If you move somebody up, they might slip back for a little while, okay? But eventually, those people are going to move back to the other end of the continuum. And why is that? Well, let's think about that. Some of it boils down to ability. And we've talked about ability in past posts. If the objective is to slam dunk a basketball, ladies and gentlemen, I am never going to be in this 15th percentile. I'm never going to be on this half of the 67th percentile. I'm not even going to be on this end of the 67th percentile. I might be able to hit the net. In my prime, I could hit both fingers over the rim, but I could darn sure not elevate high enough to get a basketball over. So I'm going to be a bottom performer. So do I take that personally? Do I get upset about it? No, I'm in the wrong situation. I'm in the wrong trade. I'm in the wrong craft. But I darn sure don't hang out expecting that I get Michael Jordan compensation when my contribution to that effort is on the low end, right? So I've got to have a conversation. I'm guessing Phil Jackson would come to me and said, hey, Sean, buddy, you're not only not scoring points, you struggle to get off the bench to get out onto the court. Do you think I'm going to go in at the end of the year expecting that I'm going to make Michael Jordan money? No. Does it make me a bad guy? No. It means I'm in a bad situation, all right? Now, if I'm in the right situation and I'm working my butt off and I'm getting the same results as Michael Jordan and I'm not getting that same pay, that's a problem. That's a discussion, right? I've got an argument there, okay? But true to form, the people that are making the money, assuming they're in the right role for the right reasons at the right time, those are the people that you're going to want to pay. Now, this next group, as I talked about, this is kind of a tricky group because these people, they might be new in a role and very soon will be here, or they might just be extraordinarily well placed, but they're still contributing, okay? So I'm not saying that because they're not, part of the 90% contribution, you get rid of them. No, I'm not saying that at all. Because these people may just be providing the support and morale and effort to really help these people be even more successful, and that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. They need to be amply compensated. And the other thing that they need to be doing is being trained and being developed. No different than the dietary example I gave. You need to work out, you need to eat well, and in order to do that, you need to be educated on what that means. It's the same thing with your performance in an organization. All right? Do you know the objective of your job? Yes, I do. No, I don't. Then let's make that crystal clear. Now you do. Do I have the ability? No, I don't. You're in the wrong job. Okay? Do I have the skill set? No, I don't. Not yet. Then you need to train and you need to develop, and the organization needs to be doing everything that they can to get you from here to here. Okay? Now, what does that require on your part? Effort. It requires effort. Okay? So if you're in here or here or here, conversely, it means that, again, maybe you're in the wrong job, or it could mean that you're not receiving the training or guidance or education that you need, right? Maybe you don't have the skill sets to be successful, right? So what are we doing to improve those? But I would say that's a disproportionate amount of people that are in this bucket, that the problem is their lack of action. No action. Okay? I'm amazed at my ability to write backwards. So here's the deal, right? As it pertains to my industry, I can't tell you the number of times that they're like, what do you do? Network marketing, man. I'm trying to grow a team. I'm trying to really build this thing. I'm trying to make it work. And the first response out of their mouth is, that's a scam. It's a scam. Only the people at the top make the money. The people at the bottom don't make money. Well, I'm going to let you in on a dirty little secret. If you're at the top, tippy top, and you got a bunch of people underneath you doing nothing and not making money, you're not going to make money. So that is flawed logic, okay? And I can tell you that it's perpetuated by people that typically come in here. They either don't have the skill set, so they're in the wrong job to begin with. Let's set them aside because that's an easy conversation. Do something different, right? But if you're somebody that doesn't have the skill, then go get training, go get developed, go improve yourself. Again, that self-ownership. And then ultimately, whether you're not taking action to go get the training and development, or whether you do have the skill and you're just not doing anything with it, then shame on you. You're not taking the action. That's why you're back here. All right? That doesn't mean there's a fix in. You know, and typically these people, again, they never come in and go, you know, the reason I suck is me. They've always got somebody else to blame. Oh, well, it's a scam. It's a sham. Or I'm not getting the same level of dedication and attention from my upline or my boss. Okay? Hey, Jess, man, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you being on. Appreciate you sharing it. So these people typically play the victim, all right? And this can be cancerous and it can be poisonous. And look, the adage is, you know, that you kind of, you reap what you sow, and the people that you tend to surround yourself with have a heck of a lot of determination of kind of what you are, right? So if you run around and you're eating lunch and hanging out with these people all day, every day, that negativity starts to rub off, and it's rarely good. But if you're these people and you're hanging out with these cats, then that typically that energy level, that knowledge sharing, that endorsement, that sponsorship and engagement typically makes these people better. Okay? So, look, I don't know what your specific situation is, whether, again, you're a top leader, whether you're middle management, or whether you're an employee. But I'm going to say this, to those of you that fancy yourself up here, keep up the good work. Be the good that you want to see in others, because it rubs off. It is contagious, okay? If you're one of these guys, though, you really need to take a heartfelt look inwardly and decide, am I in the right job? Do I have the skill sets to do it? And if not, you need to probably opt out or find a smart way to transition to doing something different. You owe it to yourself to put yourself in a good situation. Don't be miserable perpetuating something you're not skilled or have the ability to do. All right? If I want to be the slam dunk champion, I'm going to wake up every day disappointed in myself, and that starts to wear on you. I don't want to be that guy, right? But if you're not here because of your lack of action, you own that. It's not your upline's job. It's not your boss's job to hold your hand. It's their job to do the blocking and tackling and provide you the resources and the coaching and the guidance and be a cheerleader to help you be successful. They are facilitators. They should facilitate your success. They should not, make your success. You own that. I own mine. We all own that, right? So when you go into a performance review at the end of the year, and you've got this in mind, again, if you're in a bad spot, that's one thing. Start to have those conversations of how can I get into something that's a better fit, or how can you help me transition to something different, maybe even outside the organization. If I'm underperforming this way, and you're willing to put that action in, then hey, what can you do to help me be more successful? I'm committed. I'm ready. Engage with me and help me get from here up here. All right? And if you're here, or rather, if you're here and you're not willing to do that, then guys, I don't know what else to tell you other than that nobody owes you anything. Society doesn't owe you anything. You've got to go out and earn that yourself. And you got to get there through performance. Okay? So, when we think about whether it's a corporation, whether it's network marketing, the people that tend to make the money are the ones that the common denominator is they take action. All right? You can be very educated, you can be very knowledgeable, but if you're not doing anything with it, nothing's going to happen. Jesse, Jesse says I owe him. We'll see at your performance review, Jesse, whether I owe you or not. We'll see what quartile you fall in. Or quintile, I guess. So, hey, Mandy, how are you? Thanks for Borger, Texas. Thanks for being on. So anyway, that's really all I wanted to talk about today. Hopefully you guys grabbed some value out of that. If you did understand and derive some value of it, type value down in the comment section for me. And if you're in an organization that you don't think gets this and you don't think it'll get you fired, then by all means share it, right? Hit the share button down here like Jesse did. But But look, I think there's a lot of people that may not be formally educated on performance that could really derive some value from you sharing this with them. Whether it's that they own performance for a department, but it may be that they're an employee that doesn't, half of it's understanding the creature. If you don't know that your leaders are thinking this way, then you're not going to align very well with what their expectations are. And if you are a leader and you do think this way, then the thing that you owe yourself, the organization, and these individuals that work for you is you owe them your facilitation, as I said, but you owe them these candid conversations as well, and you owe it to them to be the good that you want to see within your company, right? Hey, Melanie, thanks for jumping on. Good to see you. So that's really all I have, guys. I've got tons and tons of literature and theory behind this stuff, and I don't want to go into that on this. I've probably already run too long. But if you would like some help in this, reach out to me, PM me. I'm pretty passionate about this stuff, so pro bono, I'm happy to jump on a call with you, walk you through it. You can tell me what the situation is. Again, whether you're in network marketing, whether you're in the corporate world, heck, even if you've got a lawn service and you're trying to figure out how to kind of manage that, it applies across the board. And even in sports, right? If you're a coach and you're trying to figure all this out, let me know. Give me a shout. I'm happy to go through it with you. Again, I've got all kinds of tools that can help you facilitate. And even if you need me to come in on site and speak to your teams on it, I'm happy to do that as well. Okay, sometimes it helps. Like if I try to tell my daughter something in one ear, out the other, sometimes it helps to have a third party tell them that, and they tend to buy in a little bit more. Maybe I could be that resource for you. Let me know. But appreciate you guys popping on as always. Very much appreciate your support. Working on my hey, Randy Kennedy joined. Randy, I know this is no mystery to you. You've seen my performance management presentation at one point, the Thunder, if that rings any bells. But thanks for popping on, Randy. So anyway, guys, I'm out. Thanks for your time, and enjoy the rest of your week. And again, keep your eyes peeled. I'm working on finishing up my website. It'll be therealseanparker.com. And again, the real meaning that I'm not the guy that started Napster and owns 4% of Facebook. I'm just a dude that knows a thing or two about performance management and is trying to develop a network marketing team. Thank you, guys, and have a great rest of your week.